Well, guys, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Been a while since anyone's made the world this nervous.
But today we are going to be talking about the current state of the new DC universe. Basically, James Gunn's universe going on, directed by James Gunn. But guys, I have to admit, I am concerned about this DC universe. There's a lot of things that I want to really touch on, but let's kick it off with the first thing, that James Gunn is not really prioritizing the pillar characters, right? So we know for this year, in 2026, we have Clayface and Supergirl. I'm going to talk about Clayface real quick. I watched that trailer, guys, and this fucking film looks fantastic. I am very intrigued with this horror type body horror style film. I'm very intrigued about that. So I am very excited about that film. That's why it's still on my most anticipated list. However, Supergirl is a film that I was very anticipating too, but to be honest, both trailers, the first trailer did not do whatsoever anything for me. The second trailer was a little bit better. Do I think the film still will be enjoyable? Yes, but overall for me, I don't know. It just feels too much of the same stuff that we've been getting in all comic book movies, whether it's similar to Superman and it's similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. And whether that's a good or a bad thing for you guys, I don't know. For me, I love seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo, and I think Millie Alcox is going to be a great Supergirl. I'm very worried about the story that they're going to be doing. So that is the biggest concerns that, like, for me is we have no Batman film yet, right? Based in the DCU. We haven't even seen who he is, who's he going to be cast as, and we don't even have Wonder Woman cast yet. And I get it. I love James Gunn's philosophy where we're not making anything until we have a script and everything like that. I respect that. I love it. But why aren't these things even like in production yet? Like, why don't we have any casting announcements yet? It's like, what is really going on behind the scenes? Like, just a couple days ago, James Gunn came out and confirmed that Paradise Lost is in extreme development, whatever that means, and he canceled the Authority movie that he was making. And that goes to say, like, he's still prioritizing characters like Booster Gold and I'm trying to think of any other character, like lower named characters, so to speak. But we're getting a Clayface film written by Mike Flanagan before an actual DCU Batman film. And The Brave and the Bold, they say, is progressing. The writer's doing a great job on it, but we're not seeing no actual proof. Maybe I make this video, guys, and then a couple days later, they finally say that they have Andy Muschietti is going to direct this film and that they're going to get going with it. We're going to know our Batman in a couple weeks. But Andy Muschietti's going back to Welcome to Derry. What the fuck is going on with this film, and why can't it get made? And it's been since 2020. Sorry, guys, by the way, with the noises and things like that. But it's been like 2023, 2024 that James Gunn released his whole slate. And already you got Swamp Thing that's on the back burner. You have The Authority that is just basically canceled. How well is he going to stick to the slate? I don't know. What I will say is that you do need these pillar characters where you got Superman, which is great. And I think no matter what, guys, do I have a couple little nitpicks with the Superman film that came out last year? Yes, but I really love that film. I will stand by it that Superman is a great film. Directed by James Gunn. I think he did a great job. I love David Cornsweet as Superman, and I think Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor and Rachel Brosnan as Lois Lane. They're great. But like I said, that consistency of having your pillar characters, it should have been Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and then throw us a Clayface film. That is also, by the way, guys, Clayface being a prequel to the DCU. It's like we're jumbling all over here. I don't know. It's getting me nervous. I'm not going to lie, because now you're doing Clayface that's going to be a prequel to Superman, so to speak. So we have no chronological actual order. You're just throwing films at to see what sticks in it. He's got a plan, I know it, but like it's so weird from being an outsider's perspective. But that's one of my biggest complaints, is that we don't have our Wonder Woman casted. We don't have our Batman casted yet. We don't have, besides Lanterns, you only have Superman and Supergirl, right? And that leads me into my next thing. like I said, I respect what James Gunn says. If there's a good script, we'll make it. But let's look at what we have right now for the DCU. You have Creature Commandos that I do not give whatsoever a fuck about. You have Peacemaker Season 1, which I thought was mid, and Peacemaker Season 2, that was pretty good. But besides that, you only have Superman. And then you got Supergirl coming out. You got Lanterns that I think looks great. Supergirl looks mid at best for me at the moment. And then you got Clayface. You're getting into production with Man of Tomorrow, which I'm going to touch on real quick. Man of Tomorrow, for me, I'm very intrigued. It's going to have a different tone than the first Superman film, but it's not even a Superman film. It's a Superman and Lex film. What are we doing, guys? I hope we're not repeating the Batman vs. Superman cycle where you won't even give Superman his full sequel film, and you're going to jumble a lot of characters into Man of Tomorrow and make that the Dawn of the Justice League film again. Let's hope that's not true. But you're going to have a lot of characters in this film, too, as well. You're going to have Brainiac. You're going to have Lex and Superman working together. You're going to have Hawkgirl, Lois Lane. You're going to have Maxima. You're going to have... I don't even know. There's like a bunch of people. You're going to have Guy Gardner back. It's like there's so much going on in a sequel Superman-centered film that I don't know if I like that, so to speak. And, you know, maybe other people out there really like that idea, having superheroes just show up. You don't have to follow the formula. I like that. I respect that idea. For me, it just feels a little like everything thrown at the wall at once. Now, let's talk about another thing, too, with the DC side, is the merger. The Paramount merger. It's official. Paramount's buying Warner Brothers. I'm concerned about that, too, as well. David Ellison said that he's going to keep James Gunn, Peter Safran. I almost said Jason Kilar, which was fucking HBO Max CEO a while ago. But Peter Safran and James Gunn are going to stay on. But how does that actually look like for future plans in 2028, 2029? I don't know. Will James Gunn stay due to the political beliefs? I don't know. I hope he stays, and I just hope this vision gets cohesive. But if Paramount has the opportunity and they start to interfere, what the fuck does that look like? We know David Zaslav is going to be out. So, like, it worries me, guys, because the thing is, I tell people all the time, like, my go-to characters are always going to be DC characters. Even though Marvel has done the films miles better, DC is my go-to character, so I just want them treated in the right way. And it's just when you look at a new DCU being formed, comparing to the Snyderverse, we don't even have our pillar characters yet. We only have Superman. And to be fair, it's only been a year, but it's just not even knowing what plans are in fruition. Like, what is going on with Batman? What is going on with Wonder Woman? What is going on with the Flash? These main characters, I don't know. And that's what concerns me. Let's touch on another thing, too, that concerns me is the video game aspect. Now, James Gunn, I hope he redacted this statement, but originally he said video games will be canon to this DC universe. I think that's a horrible idea. But really, for the game side of Warner Brothers and the DC games, what do you really have? You have Camouflaged that made Arkham Shadow, which I heard, I haven't played it, is a phenomenal game. You have Legacy of the Dark Knight coming out next month, which I'm very excited to play. But besides that, you have nothing else coming in the next couple of years. You have nothing from Rocksteady. You have nothing from Warner Brothers Montreal, whether they're working on a new Arkham game or what. And you have the Wonder Woman game being canceled. It's just like one battle after another, and it's just, where is the game? James Gunn, you said that the games are going to be canon to the movies and the films and that universe, but there's no plans for it, which I'm okay with. But that's also another thing why I'm concerned about the current state of DC, is because we have no plans for any other games besides Legacy of the Dark Knight right now coming out. And another thing too, guys, I want to touch on, the final thing, is the consistency and coherentness of the universe. You have the DCU, and now you have the Matt Reeves universe. I love the Batman, but I do have problems with that film. The same thing with Penguin. I thought that was a great, if anything, one of the best comic book shows I've ever watched. But where does that timeline go? You've been in development hell. And like I said, then you have the DCU, you have the Matt Reeves universe, these two things going at the same time. And it's like, you got to just like focus on one situation. And it's like, they're not doing that. And for me, I just feel like that the DC universe is at a weird spot where it's like, we don't know what's going on. And it's just very incohesive, so to speak. But guys, maybe a couple years from now, I might be wrong, and maybe we see it all played out. But at this second moment, this fucking moment, I'm very concerned about the state of the DC universe with all these topics and all these statements. Do I trust James Gunn in delivering something great? I do. I just don't know how much I trust him. But guys, let me know your thoughts below. Do you guys agree with me being concerned on the current state of the DCU? Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys real soon.